Lesson 4 in Unit 6 addresses cartography, which is the art and science of making maps. In Exercise 1, you learn how to create a population map. In Exercise 2, you create a site map. In Exercise 3, you create a zoning map. And in Exercise 4, you create a slope analysis map. So as mentioned, cartography is defined as the art and science of making maps. And there are a number of things to be aware of. First and foremost are drawing scales. So a 1 to 20,000 scale would be a small scale drawing which shows a low level of detail. And a 1 to 5,000 drawing would be a medium scale drawing that shows a moderate level of detail. And a large scale drawing might be a 1 to 1500 or a 1 to 500 scale drawing where you're showing a high level of detail. A 1 inch to 40 foot in imperial units would be a standard drawing scale for construction documents for a civil engineering project. And similarly, the metric equivalent would be a 1 to 500 scale. So these are showing a rather high level of detail which are required for the construction of projects. Symbology is a way of identifying features by their appearance. So in the image here, you can see that symbology is being used to shade the properties based on their zoning. And then when you classify data, you can assign symbology to data ranges. So for instance, a population map in which you may choose to shade areas based on their population. When working in GIS and Map 3D, there's a concept of a GIS layer, and these are just levels of GIS information that are managed through this display manager. Not to be confused with an AutoCAD layer. A GIS layer may contain a multitude of different types of information, just a different way of working with geospatial data. So in Exercise 1, you connect to a shape data source, you create a theme for population distribution, and then you apply that distribution model to shade the counties in this case, the state of Virginia, based on the population. And you also create a population map and symbolize cities that have a population greater than 100,000. So let's have a quick look at the first part of that. If we open the cartography drawing for Exercise 1, and we will connect to a data source, and this will be a shape connection. This will be their counties. And if we now connect to the file, we can connect to Virginia counties. And once we've made that connection, or sorry, once we've specified the data, we can make that connection. Now the drawing is a Virginia 83, so let's edit the coordinate system. And we're going to use the same coordinate system. So we'll go USA Virginia, NAD 83 state plane, US foot. And now we can add the data to the map. And once the data has been added to the map, if we go to the map setup, the view tab, we can use the map task pane to visualize the data. So let's now zoom to the data. Let's try zoom extents here. There's the data. And so geospatial data, it's data that is served up and shown spatially. So here you can see we've got all the counties. Now, if we right click on this, we can edit the style, or we can show the data table for a number of the different data types. And so here's all the different population or counties and the county names. And if you choose auto zoom, enable that, and you click on these, it'll take you right to the county. So that's what it's doing right now. It's navigating to that county in the map pane here. If we scroll down here and we pick this county, it will navigate to that county as well. So this is the data table, which is showing you the data in conjunction with the spatial orientation of the county. If we were to right click on the layer, we can edit the style, and this will show the style editor window. And in here perhaps we would like to add a theme. So if I chose new theme, this theme is going to show the population in the year 2004, and we can distribute this using the Jenks natural breaks distribution model. And if we click OK, now what we've done is we've assigned a theme and classified the data and shaded the data based on population distribution. And there's a number of ways you can change the style by clicking here to change the colors. You can change the thematic rules. So here's the rule. Population 2004 is the data variable between 2499 and 5439. And these numbers came or were calculated as part of that distribution. So in exercise 2, you create a site map using a number of different data sources. You connect to aerial data, you connect to parcel data, hydrology data, and you also run a compound query to extract data within a particular location. And then in the final exercise you create, in the third exercise you create a zoning map using a similar procedure, and it will shade the areas based on the zone, and then you apply labels to that zoning map. And then in the fourth exercise you create a slope analysis map and shade the slopes based on certain slope ranges, and this is done on a digital elevation map. And that concludes the discussion of the cartography lesson in the geospatial unit.